Canada's premiers wrapping up their meeting with Prime Minister Mark Carney in Ontario this week. Inter-provincial trade, tariffs, and economy top of mind for Canada's first ministers. Alberta Premier Danielle Smith says she's hopeful in the tariff tiff with the United States.
We have autos, steel, aluminum, timber, copper, maybe pharmaceuticals, semiconductors. Those seem to be the targeted areas that the U.S. president is getting quite aggressive on.
Alberta's premier telling media following a meeting of the country's premiers and prime minister in Ontario Wednesday, while she's disappointed U.S. President Donald Trump has signaled his intent to put the renegotiation of the Canada-U.S. trade agreement on hold, she'll be happy if an agreement can be made on those sectors by the beginning of August. But at the First Ministers' meeting, Alberta signing a number of agreements with other provinces and territories to increase energy exports and pipeline production. A marked difference from Premier Smith's attitude towards the meetings earlier this year. Smith touting headway made on energy projects with British Columbia.
And, of course, expanding the capacity of the Trans Mountain pipeline. By putting in additional measures, compression, and a few other things, they can actually expand the capacity.
Political watchers say it was one of the most cooperative First Ministers' meetings in recent memory.
All of the premiers agreed that there is room for them to find common ground. They're not, in stark opposition to one another or to the federal government, though they're making demands.
On the spirit of cooperation, Williams saying with a new prime minister and the lingering economic threat from the United States, Canada's premiers have more incentive to find economic opportunities with each other. Williams adding here in Alberta, Premier Smith is looking for economic wins to stop political upheaval, with rising separatism sentiment at provincial town halls and the potential creation of a new political party.
How many people coming to the microphone were pretty strong anti-Ottawa, pro-separatist opinion holders, influencers, if you like. They don't represent all of Alberta, but it does suggest that that's a real problem to try to deal with.
Reporting from Edmonton, Darcy Ropchan, City News.
Danielle Smith's United Conservative Party has sent a cease and desist letter to a pair of MLAs who were both kicked out of her party. Peter Guthrie and Scott Sinclair were trying to revive the Progressive Conservative Party as an alternative to the government, but the UCP's executive director told City News Wednesday the PC Alberta name, logo, and goodwill were being used by people with no right to it, alleging Guthrie and Sinclair were confusing voters and avoiding the hard work of building their own party.
It's kind of typical, the UCP. Relying on, threats and intimidation. That cease and desist was very broad. They tried to make claims in there that were definitely out of scope. But really, they're just trying to throw us off course, dragging us into a legal battle. But ultimately, we're not quitting. We're not backing down.
In an interview with City News, Guthrie confirms he and Sinclair now plan to join the Alberta Party and work with Elections Alberta to incorporate the PC brand into that. The UCP was formed when the PC and Wild Rose parties merged 8 years ago. The Premier has said she believes the PC name is still off limits.